Let us now start the evaluation part of the first lesson, metallurgy. Multiple choice questions. The first question is, bauxite has the composition, the options Al2O3, B Al2O3.NH2O, option C Fe2O3.2H2O, and D none of these. As we know from the first thing, the answer is Al2O3.NH2O is the answer. Option B Al2O3.NH2O is the answer. Second question. Roasting of sulfide ore gives the gas A. A is a colorless gas. Aqueous solution of A is acidic. The gas A is roasting of sulfide ore gives gas A. A is a colorless gas. Aqueous solution of the gas is acidic. The gas is the options carbon dioxide A, B sulfur trioxide SO3, C sulfur dioxide, and D H2S. And the answer is sulfur dioxide. We all know that sulfur dioxide is a colorless gas. And third question, which one of the following reaction represents calcination? As we have learnt from the calcination part, calcination will explains or will magnesium metal. Therefore, the options are 2Zn plus O2 gives 2ZnO, 2ZnS plus 3O2 gives 2ZnO plus 2SO2, and option C MgCO3 gives MgO plus carbon dioxide, and option D both A and C. We all know that magnesium is one of the metal which can be calcinated, and the answer therefore is MgCO3 gives MgO plus CO2, option C. Fourth question, the metal oxide which cannot be reduced to metal by carbon is, the metal oxide which cannot be reduced to metal by carbon is options PbO, B Al2O3, C ZnO, and D FeO, and the answer is Al2O3b. And then the next question, which of the metal is extracted by Hall-Héroult process? As we have learnt earlier, Hall-Héroult process deals only with aluminium, and the options are A Al, B Ni, C Cu, and D Zn. And we know that Hall-Héroult process deals with aluminium, so Al is the answer. Sixth one, which of the following statements about the advantage of roasting of sulfide ore before reduction is not true? Which of the following statements about the advantage of roasting of sulfide ore before reduction is not true? Options A, delta G naught formation of sulfide is greater than those for CS2 and H2S. Delta G naught R is negative for roasting of sulfide ore to oxide. And C, roasting of the sulfide to its oxide is thermodynamically feasible. And option D, carbon and hydrogen are suitable reducing agents for metal sulfides. It's a very direct question. So, carbon and hydrogen are suitable reducing agents for metal sulfides. We have learned from the reduction by carbon, hydrogen, etc. We have come to the conclusion that carbon and hydrogen are suitable reagents for metal sulfides. Match the following. Seventh one, cyanide process, froth flotation process, electrolytic reduction, zone refining, ultra pure germanium, dressing of ZnS, extraction of aluminium, extraction of gold, purification of nickel. First of all, we will see the answers for this. Cyanide process. The cyanide process, leaching, under leaching heading, we have learned that cyanide process is applicable for gold. So, for the first one, A, cyanide process, extraction of AU will be the option. Then, froth flotation process. Froth flotation involves what? sulfide ores. Therefore, dressing of sulfide will be the answer. Then electrolytic reduction. Electrolytic reduction involves extraction of aluminium. Zone refining. Under zone refining, we have learned that ultra pure metals like germanium, silicon, etc., which are used as semiconducting devices, can be purified. Therefore, the option for zone refining is ultra pure germanium. From this conclusion, we have the options like D, B, C, and A, and therefore option C will be the answer. Cyanide process is for extraction of gold, froth flotation is for sulfide, dressing of zinc sulfide, electrolytic reduction is for extraction of aluminium, zone refining is for ultra pure germanium. And the eighth one, wolframite ore is separated from tinstone by the process of. When I taught you about electromagnetic separation, the example I cited was this tinstone can be separated from the wolframite ore. Therefore, the answer will be electromagnetic separation. Not smelting, not calcination, not roasting, but the answer is D, electromagnetic separation. And question number 9. Which one of the following is not feasible? Feasible means possible. ZNS plus Cu2 plus aqueous gives CuS plus Zn2 plus aqueous. Cu solid plus Zn2 plus aqueous give you ZNS plus Cu2 plus aqueous. CuS plus 2Ag plus aqueous gives Ag, so S plus Cu2 plus aqueous. Option D, FeS plus Cu2 plus aqueous gives Cus plus Fe2 plus aqueous. Which one of the following is not feasible? Option B is not possible. Electrochemical process is used to extract. Electrochemical process is used to extract. The options are iron, lead, sodium, and silver. Electrochemical process mainly involves the electrical conductivity. From all these options, the ionic substance is sodium, and therefore the answer will be option C, sodium. 12th question. Flux is a substance which is used to convert mineral into silicate, B, infusible impurities to soluble impurities, soluble impurities to infusible impurities, and option D, all of these. And the answer is B, infusible impurities to soluble impurities. I'll give you an example. Calcium oxide plus silicon dioxide will give you calcium silicate. This infusible impurity, silicon dioxide, can be made into a soluble impurity with the help of calcium oxide. Here the infusible impurity is silicon dioxide and it is treated with calcium oxide, it forms calcium silicate. So flux is a substance which is added to a gong or impurity and gets separated as slag. And therefore the answer is B, infusible impurities to soluble impurities. Next, 12th question. Flux is electrochemical process is used to extract sodium, and flux is a substance which is used to convert infusible impurities to soluble impurities. Which one of the following ores is the best concentrated by froth flotation method? Magnetite, B, hematite, C, galena, and D, cassiterite. We know that froth flotation method is a method adopted for purifying or concentrating sulfide ores, and therefore galena will be the option, PBS. All others are oxide ores. Galena is the only sulfide ore in this question. Then, in the extraction of alumina by electrolysis, cryolite is added to. What is the purpose of adding cryolite? Cryolite is a substance which is added to lower the melting point of the other substance. It is always used to lower the melting point of other substance. Here the option is lower the melting point of alumina, remove impurities from alumina, decrease the electrical conductivity, increase the rate of reduction, and therefore the answer is lower the melting point of alumina. The next question, zinc is obtained from ZNO by dash process. Options are carbon reduction, reduction using silver, electrochemical process, acid leaching. Zinc can be easily reduced by carbon. Therefore, the option is carbon reduction. Next question. Cupellation is a process used for refining of silver. Next question. Extraction of gold and silver involves leaching with cyanide ion. Silver is later converted to recovered by dash process. When we learnt about the cyanide process, the first step was converting this gold into a complex, and then we have to recover the gold metal. So we require a displacing metal to displace the gold from the complex. Therefore, zinc will be the best method. So the answer will be displacement with zinc, option C. Considering the Ellingham diagram, which of the following metals can be used to reduce alumina? Alumina means Al2O3. So when we learnt about the observations and applications of Ellingham diagram, we learned that the metal which is above can be easily reduced. Therefore, magnesium which is below this aluminium can be easily reduced. Therefore, the answer is Mg. Okay, next question. The following set of reactions are used in refining of zirconium. Zirconium impure plus 2I2 gives zirconium tetraiodide. Zirconium tetraiodide at 1800 Kelvin gives you zirconium pure plus 2I2. This I2 can be recovered and reused. The method is known as, when we learnt about the vapor phase methods, we learned two methods. One is Mons process, which is used for refining of nickel, and the next one is Van Arkel method of refining zirconium and titanium. So the answer will be Van Arkel process. It's a very direct question. Van Arkel process. Question number 20. Which of the following is used for concentrating ore in metallurgy? Which of the following is used for concentrating ore in metallurgy? When we learnt about concentration techniques, we have learnt 4 different techniques. First one is gravity separation or hydraulic wash, froth flotation, leaching, and then electromagnetic separation. From the given options, A is leaching, B is roasting, C is froth flotation, and D is both A and C. So what will be the answer? A and C. Both A and C will be the answer. Next question. The incorrect statement among the following is: nickel is refined by Mons process. Obviously it is. Titanium is refined by Van Arkel's process. Yes, of course, Van Arkel process involves titanium and zirconium. Zinc blend is concentrated by froth flotation. No doubt in that, because zinc blend is ZnS and froth flotation involves sulfide concentration. And the option should be D. In the metallurgy of gold, the metal is leached with dilute sodium chloride. It is not so. Metallurgy of gold, metal is not leached with dilute sodium, but it is sodium cyanide. So option is D. In electrolytic refining of copper, which of the following is used as anode? When I told you about electrolytic refining, I told you that the pure metal should always be the cathode and the impure metal should always be the anode. So what would be the option? A pure copper, B impure copper, C carbon rod, D platinum electrode, and the option will be B impure copper. Answer is again B impure copper. Which of the following plot gives Ellingham diagram? Which of the following plot gives Ellingham diagram? A. Delta S versus T, B. Delta G naught versus T, C. Delta G naught versus 1 by T, D. Delta G naught versus T square. So when we started the Ellingham diagram, I told you that it is always plotted between the temperature and the delta G naught minus RT ln P. And therefore the option is delta G naught versus T. Option B will be the answer. Next question. In the Ellingham diagram for the formation of carbon monoxide, delta S naught by delta T is negative, delta G naught by delta T is positive, delta G naught by delta T is negative, and D, initially delta T by delta G naught is positive after 700 degrees Celsius. Delta G naught by delta T is negative. As the reaction is possible, delta G naught by delta T is negative is the answer. Answer C. Option C. Which of the following reduction is not thermodynamically feasible? Thermodynamically not feasible. As we have learned from the Ellingham diagram, the element which lies above will be a good reducing agent. When I explained you about the thermodynamical feasibility of a reaction, I told you that chromium plus aluminium gives aluminium oxide, chromium is possible, and therefore the reverse reaction is not possible, and therefore option B is the answer. Al2O3 plus 2Cr gives you Cr2O3 plus 2Al is not possible. Reverse is not possible. Option B is the answer. Next, which of the following is not true with respect to Ellingham diagram? Which of the following is not true with respect to Ellingham diagram? Just recall all the observations and applications of Ellingham diagram. A. Free energy changes follow a straight line. Deviation occurs when there is a phase change. The graph for the formation of carbon dioxide is a straight line almost parallel to free energy axis. Negative slope of carbon monoxide shows that it becomes more stable with increase in temperature. Positive slope of metal oxide shows that their stability decreases with increase in temperature. Now what is the answer? It is the graph for the formation of carbon dioxide is a straight line almost parallel to free energy axis is the answer. Just observe the Ellingham diagram. You will be easily able to see the thing.